He was responding to Ononuga's post on X. He wrote, Mr. Ononuga, thank you for the update that our president is jetting off again for accountability. Nigerians deserve clarity that matches the office you speak for. First, your statement is vague. What exactly will the president do in France and the United Kingdom during this 10-day vacation? Please publish a basic itinerary with objectives, name counterparts, and expected deliverables. That is standard practice when presidential travel is framed as working time. It also helps the public track outcomes, as seen when Paris visits produced specific agreements last year. Second, context matters. The president has traveled to France frequently since 29 May 2023. By 12 April 2025, credible reporting had already counted at least 8 separate visits, totaling no fewer than 59 days in France. There have been further European trips since then. Please confirm the updated count. Third, the president has also visited the United Kingdom several times in office. The record shows a private stop in London in June 2023, a Buckingham Palace meeting in September 2024, a 2-week leave in October 2024, which included onward travel to Paris. Then meetings in London in April 2025 before returning to Abuja. Please give the official tally to date. Fourthly, there are persistent rumors that the president uses France and the UK for medical attention. Your office has repeatedly denied this. ICIR and other outlets have reported concerns which you and your colleagues dismissed as baseless. Given the public interest, it would be helpful to address this issue transparently rather than simply denying it. A clear medical travel policy for the presidency would settle speculation. While the ex-user went on to talk about Section 145 of the Constitution, which requires the president to enable the vice president act on his behalf when on vacation. Finally, he wrote, Nigeria is not a private enterprise. The president holds authority in trust. Transparency is the price of that trust. If this is a working vacation, show the work and the outcomes. If it is personal, follow the Constitution and let the vice president act. Anything less weakens credibility and fuels the very rumors your office says are false. Put the facts on the record and explain plainly why you cannot. Rufai, I saw you nodding your head a lot of, yes, I mean, I think that he was quite apt in, all of the details that he posed.
In all of the details.
Really?
And that's the question. And see, Oji, that's why we keep saying it is sad for a country that wants to grow, that thinks about accountability, and we don't have the medical records of the president. Other countries, for God's sake, do show us the medical records of their president.
Now let's take reactions to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's 10-day visit to Europe, with stops in both France and the United Kingdom. President's special advisor on information and strategy, Bayo Ononuga, made the announcement in a post on X saying that the president departed Abuja on September 4th to commence a working vacation in Europe as part of his 2025 annual leave. He added that after the trip, the president will return to the country. The president was accompanied to the airport in Abuja by a delegation that included the governors of Lagos State, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, and Imo State, Hope Uzodinma, the secretary to the government of the Federation, George Akume, and ministers. His latest trip comes just 2 weeks after his return from Japan and Brazil for official state visits, while also making stops in Dubai and Los Angeles during that tour. Well, let's take some reactions. I'd like to pull this reaction, and this person detailed. It was a lengthy tweet, and I'll start. I just had to take some excerpts from that tweet. And he wrote,
who was the African president that died recently, that told the people that he was going for a medical situation before he passed? I think it was President Gigomp of, Namibia. He was upfront with the people. So, if for anything,
yes,
and those that keep arguing that his medical records are private, please, with due respect, if President Tinubu wanted to keep anything about his life private, he shouldn't have run for president in the first place. As long as he's our president, we have a right to ask and inquire.
This is it.
This France, almost every time. France. UK. With taxpayers' money. This year, God knows how many times he's gone.
100% I agree with you.
And that's why when Ayo was talking, the president should, if it's local tourism, it's not tourism.
No, but the explanation was quite vague.
I'm going by what the statement.
It's not tourism. That's why they always, it was when we said we must demand accountability, they now showed us a picture of President Tinubu meeting the king in London then. That's why they say that was the only thing he was doing and working. Yeah. We can't keep having this visit without even knowing what is going on there.
Transparency.
There's no big deal.
Yes, no big deal.
If there's a medical situation, release it. If there's a medical report, let us see it. If there's none, show us.
Everyday France.
And for that section 145, Ayo,
yeah.
They will not respond to that because over the years they've already put that lacuna in. They will say if it's not up to 21 days threshold, then you don't need to hand over and all of that. That's the kind of... And you know why I'm saying this?
Yes, why?
President Buhari did the same. He left for months.
But President Buhari was 6 months at a time.
Which was quite a time.
And we keep
forgivable.
So
hold on. Let me take this tweet and I'll come to you. Another Twitter and X. Because this story is quite viral. It's quite shocking at the point. At the same time, only because he just came back. Well, this person on X wrote, at a time when hunger, unemployment, insecurity, poor health care, fuel crisis and unbearable inflation are killing Nigerians daily, a president has no business running abroad for vacation. True leadership means staying home, facing the problems head on, and sharing in the suffering of the people you govern. Go ahead.
Let me even start from the beginning. Yes. Before he became president, the president had been going to France. So we already saw the writings on the wall, that when he does become president, he might very likely be going on these trips. Recall that before his inauguration as president in 2023, he was away in France for 34 days. In fact, what they said at the time was that he went to go and plan the transition, proper transition committee. And we see a lot of people going to France as the new capital of Nigeria because now, they almost put Aso Rock extension in France at the time. So what we're seeing now is what we already had an indication of before he became president. And there were speculations even at that time on the status of his health and whether or not he should declare. And this is where citizenship, active citizenship comes into play. As to the people that we elect into office, to what extent do we demand of them in order for us to repose our trust in them to lead us as a people? Are we satisfied with not knowing their records, or do we make it a condition to the extent that we make it as part of a constitutional provision that anyone who wants to lead us as a nation must declare his health status? I say this because there's an implication for you as a taxpayer. Every time the president goes out of town, guess who's footing most of his bills? We, the Nigerian people. And so you who haven't had enough money, or you don't have enough money to know where your next meal is coming from, have part of your commonwealth being spent to maintain the health and lifestyle of a public official abroad. Beyond that, and I still maintain this, Rufai, that if on the surface of things, what Mr. Bayo Onanuga says he's going to do is annual vacation. And to be fair to him, he is entitled to annual vacation, and we cannot legislate as to where he chooses to go on annual vacation. We can raise questions around why the destination of France and the United Kingdom so frequently. But when it has to do with his vacation that is stipulated as part of his contract, he can go anywhere he wants to. But I did mention that as chief marketer of Nigeria, there are nice places in Nigeria that even for the optics, he can choose to go for 1 week, 5 days, and then spend the rest of abroad. Why can't he not go to, we were talking about Yankari Game Reserve. You know what that happens? What happens is that it brings in revenue. Yeah. It means infrastructure development will be in those areas. If the president chooses to go to these places, he can visit the Kanu walls. He can go to Yankari Games Reserve. He can go to Indore Hills in Ondo State. He can come to Lagos here and go to Nike Art Gallery or go to the beach. There's so many beachfronts. But let me just warn Nigerians. He's going to United Nations General Assembly this month. So let me just prep you that he's going to be away again to the United States of America.
Just a minute, please, because we have to go. Yeah.
Talking about, the president has gone to France, has gone to UK. It's a frequency of it that people are concerned about. The last time he went to the same France and UK, he spent 19 days. He came back just before 2 days. Now they say he's going for 10 days. Now, Mr. Onanuga says he's going on a working leave. He didn't say he's going for medical reasons. So that medical reasons that people are talking about is speculative because that's not what he has said. However, transparency and accountability is important. I had commented on this morning. I only want to add a footnote. Now, I've seen a picture of when the president was leaving. Some governors went there to see him off. Now, some of those governors, I don't want to embarrass them.
Yes.
When he was returning a week ago from Brazil, they were at the airport to receive him. Look, people should call their governors to account. If they have no job in their states, they should stop going to
airports
airport to receive president,
shake hands.
To see president off in an utter display of sycophancy. Don't they have jobs in their states? And some of them go to this Abuja just to go, goodbye, sir, welcome, sir. What kind of governors are these?
All right. Well, all right, Dr. Abati, well said. We need transparency. Yes, that really is the sum up of this conversation. Well done, you all. Thank you very much for that.
President Tinubu going on working leave. Now, in April 2025, President Tinubu traveled to the same France and UK for 19 days. Now they say he's going for another 10 days. Now he has just returned from a 12-day trip to Japan and Brazil. And in between, he stopped over in Dubai on his way to Japan. He stopped over in Los Angeles on his way to Brazil. However, a president is entitled to working leave. Okay? We cannot argue with that. But when he was leaving Brazil, I had jokingly written on the back page of this thing that I hope that the president will not stop over in France and in UK to say that he has some urgent business there. So it's just confirmed our suspicion that he has something that he goes to France to pick. He has something in UK that he goes to pick. But they say it's working leave. And Mr. Onanuga also says it is part of his annual leave. So as president, it's part of his prerogative to go on official visits, to go on state visit, to go on working leave, to go on official leave. We just hope that this will not be extended beyond the measure. And that the work that the president is doing there, it will be adequately reported to us for our assessment as major stakeholders. Finally, as for the soldiers, the principle that we have always defended is that pensioners deserve to be properly treated. The people who are in charge of defense headquarters today must remember that tomorrow they too will become pensioners. And it is how you treat your vulnerable, disadvantaged persons in society that will measure the integrity of that society. And I think that these retired soldiers, they have a case. Just as retired policemen have a case. Nigerians have, short memories. They treat people once they leave the desk, they treat them shabbily, forgetting that they too will become pensioners tomorrow. Absolutely. That's the morality for the defense headquarters. Absolutely.
All right, let me start off with, happy birthday to Chief Mike Oyadome, former Chief of Staff to President Goodluck Jonathan. Of course, it was a very colorful celebration in Edo State, which was attended by some very heavy hitters in the political space, in the business space, across different strata of society. But I think very importantly that people latched on to was the speech made by his former boss, President Goodluck Jonathan, when he was commending him for his loyalty, and in doing so made reference to, in comparison to what is obtainable in the political space. Now, it's no surprise, no news. Dr. Abati, you yourself once wrote an article, the phone stopped ringing in 2015, and talked about how people, the moment you step out of office, the phone stopped ringing. You're not the only one. Former Governor Segun Agagu also wrote his own experience about how the, sycophancy ends once you step out of government. All the people who used to call you, email you at different hours and make you feel like the most important person in their world, stop calling. Mr. Chief, Alhaji Lai Mohammed himself also made the same assertions that people stop calling you. So they don't like you, they like your office. But I think even beyond that was more about the fact that you would find people who would betray you. Going a step further to just forgetting about you and never that giving you any sort of relevance in terms of, you are their alpha and omega when in office, is also the fact that they they would go behind your back, make statements. We've seen it here on Arise TV, where even surrogates who would come and swear allegiance to their principal would come on this same platform to swear allegiance to the same person that they were denigrating and insulting and saying all manner of unprintable things. It just goes to show the nature of our politics, or perhaps the nature of human beings. But I dare say that, or I want to actually take it a step further and say that the greatest betrayal by politicians is the betrayal to the people whom, during campaign seasons, they promised to serve, and some of them would swear almost on their mother's grave, on their father's shrine, or wherever it is that they believe in, that they're going to put A, B, C in place. In fact, some of them will make promises that are timed. By the end of this year, if I'm not able to tackle security or terrorism will be done, take me off, don't vote for me at the next election. Some will say, I'm going to sit only once. So a number of promises and sweet talks come during electioneering. And I hope that this will be a strong message to Nigerians who are watching, that talk is cheap. The most important thing is action. At the end of the day, don't let them betray your trust by the things that they say, but actually dig deep, especially in terms of antecedents. There are people who have made promises again and again and have consistently failed the people that they promised, betraying the trust of those reposed in them and not doing well for Nigerians. So I do think that in speaking for the Nigerian people, yes, I hear President Goodluck Jonathan saying that people are fickle in political circles, but even more importantly are the politicians themselves who betray the trust of the people, who repose their trust in them through the ballot, especially based on promises made, and the moment they get into office, they forget the promises that they made to the people in order to get that office. So just to mention that on this Friday. But also very importantly is the soldier story. And that is what is happening in Abuja right now, which is, quite frankly, a big embarrassment to the Nigerian government. Quite frankly, a big embarrassment to the military. And I say this because we often talk about veterans and how when you have served your country so gallantly, in the worst of conditions, I must add, because there are conversations around allowances, even though they have a better plight than the police, for instance, it's still not yet anywhere close to where their counterparts around the world are. And so when they've served for so many years, and then you see soldiers coming to beg, as it were, for their allowances, or in this instance, protest, so that they can hear their voices can be heard. It is quite sad. Nigerian military men and women work under the most, harsh of conditions, yet pay the ultimate price in certain instances. When we watch things like this, what is the encouragement for young people to aspire to go into the military and serve the Nigerian people? We look at great military around the world. One of the things they don't joke with is servicemen and women. I think it's important. Yes, I hear what Major General Marcus Kange is saying, trying to explain the fact that they've done well. It's because of old charts, and the soldiers want retroactiveness when it comes to the payment of their allowances. But in truth, are they deserving? Absolutely. These are matters that ought not to even get to the public sphere because of the importance that these men and women hold and the role they've played in the history of Nigeria. I'm hoping that they will come to an amicable solution. And what I hope is that it will not be by force, whereby these soldiers will be punished for coming out to assert their rights. I'm glad that he mentioned that it's within their right as Nigerian citizens to protest, but that it's disrupting activities. I hope that these men and women will not be used as scapegoats or punished because of the fact that they had the audacity to speak up for their own rights. I hope that it will be done amicably, and we will watch this to ensure that the soldiers get their due rights. Finally, let me talk about President Tinubu. I often say whenever we hear about another holiday trip to France or the UK, and I know that you might say, oh, he has a right. I have to mention that, a right to choose wherever he wants to go on holiday. However, I do think that as the chief marketer of Nigeria, that he positions himself as, he will make a big statement. If one of those leaves, he spends it in Nigeria. And
you see, I think at this point, it will be fair enough to suggest that the Nigerian government, being led by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, look into establishing a branch of Aso Rock in UK and France. Yes, at this point, that would be necessary. Perhaps it will save Nigeria more cost. Because the way our president moves every 3-4 days now, this burden is on the taxpayer, isn't it? The suffering taxpayers. He come today, tomorrow is gone. Next tomorrow is leaving again. If he prefer to stay in Europe like every other Nigerian citizen who has escaped through the Sahara Desert, let him do so. If that's going to save Nigeria more cost. You get the point now. This news is coming again now, like very often, like we've often seen. He says, Tinubu begins a 10 days vacation, departs Abuja for Europe. When he returned here, when was it? How long is it now that the president just came back from a tour from Japan to Brazil? And then from Brazil, we didn't know where he go to until he eventually returned to Nigeria after numbers of days. Then today now he's getting a vacation to Europe tour again. I don't get it. Because when I saw this report, as it came from the essay to the president, Bayo Onanuga, he said President Tinubu departs Abuja to begin 2025 annual leave. He said President Bola Ahmed Tinubu departs Abuja September 4th to commence a working vacation in Europe. A working vacation for 10 days in Europe as part of his 2025 annual leave. He said the vacation will last 10 working days. He said President Tinubu will spend the period between France and UK and then return to the country. I don't get it. If it has to cost Nigeria so much, running our aircraft and our aviation fare, carrying the president from Nigeria to UK, from Nigeria to France every now and then, let Nigeria establish a branch of Aso Rock in Europe. Because I know if you even put it in one country, the president will be going to another country. They can try establishing it in all the countries of the world, so that the president can be operating from whichever of the country and just forget Nigeria. Because it is obvious that this man don't always want to be in Nigeria, where is obviously his primary constituency of assignment. His primary point of assignment and duty is Nigeria. There is so much job to be done at home, but the president seems not to be aware. Because every now and then he stands before the public to score himself very high, to hype himself, to brag of things that are not there. Now he has traveled again and he will travel again. 10 working days. Oh God. My Nigerian people, I don't get it too. Nigerians are passing through hell. Nigerians are passing through a lot. The ordinary Nigerian man is suffering. And for the head of the country, for the leaders of the country, to be living lavishly, wasting the taxpayers' money with the multiple taxation they are coming with in this manner, it doesn't make sense. So it doesn't make sense, because in a real sense, if Nigeria was a country where the people, where majority of the people are truly sane, these are enough to escalate tension and revolution. It's enough now. I'm suffering and you are wasting my money on things that I don't even know what you are doing. I don't know what they mean. There's no reflection of these trips in our life as the ordinary Nigerian. I don't get it. But yet we lack the unity to come together to say this is no longer acceptable. Hence, it should continue. But let the federal government of Nigeria look into this. They should consider having a branch of Aso Rock in all the countries that Baba always want to go and relax, so that it can save us that cost, that aviation fuel. The moment he win election, he should just go there. You get the point? Maybe from the day he was sworn in on May 29, 2023, he should just go there and relax. Then when election come again in 2027, he can come and contest. If he succeed in rigging himself back, he return back there till 2031. This will save the country fuel cost, aviation fuel cost, running our aircraft at a very high cost at the detriment of the taxpayer, who are indeed hungry and living in extreme and abject poverty. I don't know what you think, my people, about this, but whatever your thought and opinion is, kindly drop it at the comment section. See you there.
Day before yesterday's morning, so at about 1 a.m., 2 people were trying to boggle the window of my parlor. So I got up with my wife and we went there, and I screamed at them. Maybe they made a mistake or they were trying to charge their phone or something. So I was like, who is there? He said, come and open the door. I said, now your papa house. Open which door? So they were like, okay, Jeka Wali Wabe, come and share already. Then I knew that it was real. So I locked my window, left the place and moved back a bit. So they used force to open the window and started cutting the burglar with metal cutters. I don't know what they call it. So they started cutting the burglar. So I took my wife. I have a son too. I took my wife and my son. All of us went to the room and locked the door. Because the doors of this house are security doors. It's not possible that you penetrate these doors without going through the windows. They already knew. So it's a perfectly orchestrated plan, and these people, insiders are inside. People that have come to my house probably have a hand in it. So when they cut the window and came inside, they tried entering my room. The security door in the room did not allow anybody enter. They banged did everything they could. When they could not enter, they went back, opened the parlor door, because they already had access to the parlor. So they opened the parlor door and went back outside. Went to the other room, because I have 2 bedrooms. They went to the other rooms, burgled that window too, entered through that place. They found out that that's not where we are. So they went back out and went to the other window. So they started screaming at us, come and open this door now, come and open this door now. If I enter, I go kill you. If I enter, I go kill you. So I did not answer. So when they went back out and went to the back of that window of the house of the room where I am, so I saw the opportunity that I could actually go seek help. Because I did not know that they were plenty. Because they were really plenty. So I told my wife not to worry. Then I took only one phone so that I can call. I did not even remember to take my other phones or my car key. So I rushed out. So when I went outside, I saw them coming back. So I had to jump through the fence. Because we don't have that very, very, very tall fence. We have a small fence. So I jumped through the fence outside and ran towards where the security post is. When I got there, the security was not there. Even our gate man was already tied up. I did not know at that point. So I went to the first security post. We have 3 security posts in our estate. First security post, nobody. Second security post, nobody. Third security post, nobody. I don't know how that happened, but there was no security at all. So I went into Abati, because there's a place where Okada men used to stay in this axis. So I went into that place, because at least one person would know me there. So when I got there, those guys were like, Oga, waiting happen. I said, my wife dey inside house. Say thief, they try enter. Say me they can't help me before they do anything rash to my family. So those guys, like 40 of them, because Aboki know they sleep, they don't get where they sleep normally. So Aboki followed me. We were coming and we were shouting ole, ole, ole. So when they saw us from afar, they just shot to the air. We didn't even know that they had gone. So when they shot one Shakabula, you know the sound of Shakabula gun. When we heard the sound of that Shakabula gun, everybody scattered, because nobody wanted to die normally. So before we rearranged and came back, they already took my car, my Lexus RS 330 blue. Most of you that see my videos often must have seen that video in that car in my videos. So they already took that car from the house. They took my editing laptop. I have an editing laptop. They took it. They took my other phone. They took all the alcohol that I use for my content. If you have seen my videos often, you will see those very big alcohol. Origin, I have big one. I've forgotten the name of this ones. I don't remember. I have big ones, like 4. They emptied those ones from my table. They went to my fridge, emptied everything in my fridge. These ones were really hungry robbers. So they emptied everything. All the cash they could lay their hands on, they took it. The Kuban I bought for my child when I just gave it to my child, big one, very, 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 very expensive. They took it. They took all the jewelry they could lay their hands on, and then fled with the car. So when I went to the police station, the police were like, they only came for all of those properties they took. They did not come for my car. That I should make a report. I made a report. The Nigerian police really, really tried for us. Although they wasted our time, I would not lie about that. That is the normal thing in this country, time wasted. So they wasted our time. First, we went to a police post. They told us that they are only a post, that they don't have such a right. They sent us to another region. So when we went to that region, so they attended to us and took our report, took my statement, and then assigned the police officer to come with me to the house. So the police officer came in, took pictures of everything, asked me all of those things I lost. I wrote everything in the statement form already. So police officer left and said they are going to feed me back as things go. This is as far as I know about this thing. But one thing that everybody keeps telling me, even in my comment section, I can read it, that there's the hands of insiders in this. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 flats, 6 2-bedroom flats in this compound, and we have mini flats like 9 too. So it's almost a barrack. So everybody says that it is a carefully orchestrated plan, and people that know me must have had a hand in it. So my neighbor too here, they got his car key, but because we were coming massively, they could not penetrate his own car. So they were trying to enter his own car when they saw. So all of them rushed and smuggled themselves into my own big SUV and left. So they said there's hands of insiders in it, and whoever has a hand in this kind of thing, God is going to catch them. I promise, because I have never ever thought of doing evil to anyone, and I have never done it. So God is going to catch them. So that is as far as I know. Thank you very much for all of your heartfelt messages. Bye-bye.
Okay, so let me quickly take you through some other reactions on the social media place. Like you've seen that the Tinubu's government is receiving a whole lot of basketballs for travel, and not quite long he came back to Nigeria. Now he has left again. All this, the taxpayers' money. They want to collect taxes. They want to tax the masses. But see how they are spending it without considering. There is no sane country that want to be spending like that. You know, the president just came back. Even Trump from America, how many times has he traveled since he entered office? But we have Nigeria that is struggling. These people just keep wasting the little money we have. Honestly, it doesn't worth it. Now, let me take you through some of the reactions here on the social media as regards to this headline on creating community police. We know that the Tinubu's government has shown interest that they want to create community police in Nigeria. Now, a northern group is resisting it. I don't know what their reasons are, but I'm going to be reading some of the reactions here. Like this headline here say, we don't support the Nigerian government creating state police. This may fuel political abuse and deepen insecurity. Northern progressive elders. So, you see, these are some of the challenges. Some people will say we want, some people will say we don't want. Like the North doesn't want it. I don't know if they are taking pleasure in the level of insecurity happening in the North. Why not give this a chance and see how, if it works? What if it works? What if it ends insecurity? Because community policing is all about you picking people within your community, within your environment, within your village, your clan, to protect themselves. You know, you are not going to be bringing foreigners. No, it is still people within you that are going to protect your community. The only, will I call it, downside to this is if the politicians, the governors, will want to use them for their own political gain, like during elections, you know. So Tinubu wanting state police now, is it for the good of the people or is it for political gain? I'm just wondering why he's waking up now to understand that insecurity is getting out of hand. So the question remains, is it really for the people or is it for political purposes? Now, let's take a look at some of the reactions coming from Nigerians. Like this person say, we are not the same with these people. Dissolve this contraption called Nigeria now. And this other person said, you mean northern retrogressive leaders, the same people who said open grazing must ensure forever. The same people who say Boko Haram are just their misguided brothers. This person said they want to ensure that every state in Nigeria is under the control of Commissioner of Police they appointed against 2027 election displeasure. You see, I've talked about this election of a thing. This state police, is it going to be for the people or is it going to be for politicians? Somehow, people should actually have some doubts about why Tinubu just woke up to believe that state police is going to help curb insecurity. Is it because of the elections that are close? Now, this person say, but they support the creation of Hijab police, religious police. What do they even know about preventing insecurity? This person say, no, I think we have to give Tinubu his flowers on this one. Support or not, the state police must happen. This person say, but then get Hijab, meaning they have their own state police, but they don't want others. This person says state policing will help widen and strengthen the security of the states. It will also come from that side, and that's where insecurity thrives. If there is state police, those bandits will be to a degree minimal in threat. Don't you think? I wonder who's their spokesperson. This person is saying if the state police is created, bandits will not be operating boldly the way they do now. This person says state police in Nigeria could be a double-edged sword. While it might improve local security, there is a risk of abuse and increased insecurity. Let's tread carefully. I think this makes sense. That's what I'm saying. For me, the politicians will want to use them, no doubt. You see, the one that Hope Uzodinma have in Imo State, it has always worked in the favor of Imo State. You see the one Soludo has in Anambra State, it has always worked in their favor. There's no democratic process in what they do. If they want to buy somebody, they buy somebody. I tell you, nothing will happen. They want to strip you naked, they do anything. How they want to treat people, they do, because they feel nothing will happen. This person says repeating the thing over and over again and expecting a different result is the definition of insanity. This person says, so elders are saying no to the state police, but the same federal system we have now hasn't solved insecurity either. Which one do we really want? Central control or local accountability? That's what this person is saying. And another person here said, but these same people don't feel the same way about Hijab. Another person say anything that brings development, decentralization of power, they will be there to oppose it. This person say anything that will bring development and decentralization, that the northerners will oppose it. This person say the chaos state police will cause will be profound. I'm not in support of it. Another person says, so what is hijab? This person is asking the Northerners, you don't support state police, so what's hijab? This person said, true, please listen to them. The North especially should not be allowed to have any independent military force. Let each state decide if they need the state policing system or them. We can just generalize what some region leaders think. Okay, it should be on a state level. This person say they have a point though. This person say the chaos state police will cause will be profound. I'm not in support of it. This person is not in support of state police, and this other person says state police could backfire. More risk than security, says the elders. And this person say hijab. This person say so there is a divided opinion here. Some people are in support, some are not. This person say they don't want state police, but they want terrorist group. I am now seeing what late General Sani Abacha said, God have mercy on innocent Nigerians. This person say northern elders and insecurity in one sentence, for real. So people are not happy. Some people are not happy that the Northerners are trying to oppose it, while some are saying they want it. This person say they all look skinny, salary low, no food, no upgraded equipment, weapons don't have stability, recall control, no proper grip, no weapon attachment, no good sense character to protect the people of the nation. Yet you hire security officers who stop citizens and collect money. And this other person said, I love state police, but to be honest, I'm not worried about state police in the South, but the North. Their leaders were involved in the rise of terrorism in Nigeria. Giving them state police will be deadly. Hey, this person is saying another thing. So he's saying that the northern leaders were involved in the insecurity rise in Nigeria. So giving them state police is going to worsen the situation. This person, national interest supersedes northern progressive elders' interest. Mr. President, we Nigerians are 100% standing behind you on this state police matter. Please, God bless Asiwaju, God bless Nigeria. That's somebody's reaction. So the long and short of all this is that some people want it, some don't. But the fear is that people might want to use it for their own political interests, or even for insecurity related interests. You can never trust these politicians we have, especially during elections. You can never trust all these people. They can use these guys for anything, provided you give them the order. They can do anything, and that is why many people are feeling that, see, this state policing is not the best. But we have less number of policemen, less number of military men. We don't really have people to protect Nigeria as it stands now, and many Nigerians are not willing to even join the military force. So the question remains, who is going to protect us? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on the bell notification. Thank you.